Okay, so I'm going to do a problem very similar to yours, but I'm not going to do the exact same one. And instead of having it all written out, I'll give you this written value, this written work also. But I think maybe it'll be better to hear me do this, except let's see here. Let me figure out what's going on here. Mouse. Oops, no, I want to go to mouse. There we go. All right. So they're asking me, first off, being asked to find f of g of x. So what this tells me is this g function is the inside function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my f of x function, that's the outside function, whatever I drop in there is going to get squared. And since, because it says take x and square it, multiply by itself. So I've got x minus 5, and that's what I put in instead of writing the x, I wrote the x minus 5, because that's what gets, this x gets replaced with that. Now, there's nothing wrong with leaving that question like this, and it looks like you do an online homework, and I'm sure they'll take that. In case they want you to clean it up a little bit, something we can do is you want to remember, well, let's see, if I have x minus 5 squared, that means x minus 5 times x minus 5. So we have to do the distributive property to clean this up. I'm going to distribute the x's through. So that'll be x times x is x squared. X times negative 5 is negative 5x. And then I'm going to distribute this negative 5 through. So negative 5 times x is negative 5x. Let's see, my pen's going wild here. X, this should be an x. And then negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25. And now I'm just going to combine all my like terms. X squared minus 10x plus 25. So that's another form of this answer. And I think either form is correct. It just depends on what you're trying to do with it. Now, the second piece of your function, second composite function is what this is called, is we're going to find g of f of x. So this tells me that g is another function. Something I should have written above. Another way of writing this is g of f of x. And here you can kind of see that f is the inside function. Just like up here, I could write f of g of x. G is the inside function. So what this is telling me is in the g function, the x plus 5, x minus 5, I'm going to replace the x in this function here. Let's see. This function here gets replaced with the x squared. So it looked like on your work you were raising it to another power. So really this just becomes x squared minus 5. Okay, I don't have to do any kind of multiplying. I don't have to change exponents because I'm just replacing, I'm substituting in. And now that we've done these two equations, what if I wanted to find f of g of 2? Well, that's using this function here, 2 squared minus 10 times 2 plus 25. That would be 4 minus 20 plus 25. I think that's 9, isn't it? Because isn't 4 plus 25, 29? I'm going to subtract 20, so that's 29. And then if I wanted to find, let's see, if I want to find g of f of 2, or g of f of 2, we'll write it that way, I'm going to use this function right here. That'll be 2 squared minus 5. 4 minus 5 is negative 1. Okay, so that's how you can deal with this. I hope this helps you out. And, and feel free to come back and join one of us live again. I mean, that repeated live help, I think you're going to find helpful. So hopefully this video and my work, I'll include a link to this work too, will help. Maybe I'll talk to you again.